Hey, this is WWE and ECW alumni, the Blue Meanie, and you're listening to PCW.
The question is, are you ready? Let me talk to you. I will give you a show like you have never, ever seen before. Why? Because I can. What do you guys want to talk about? I am that damn good.
I am the B-E-S-T.
And the color red in a world full of black and white. I am the eater of worlds. Yeah, if you're some acknowledge me. The champ is here. But to be the man, you gotta beat the man. And I'm saying, woo, right here. Hey, yo. The best there is, the best there was, and the best there ever will be.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome back to another episode of PCW Podcast Championship Wrestling. I am your host, Wayne, also known as Semi-Dry Chicken, and this is an interview episode. That's right, it is not a predictions episode, it is not a post-show episode, it is not even the bracket that I've been dying to fucking get to. We're not even there yet. But this is an interview, and I like to once in a while bring some new peeps in to the show, you know? Reach out to the wrestling community, find other marks like us. Well, from the podcast Sofa Kings Smarks, let me introduce them.
Let me talk to you.
Hooey, welcome to the show.
Yo, let me talk to you.
Yeah, man.
What's going on, brother?
Introduce yourself.
Yeah, my name is Hoovy. I 1/3 of the Sofa Kings Smarks Wrestling, UFC, Sports, and Shenanigans podcast. Been doing the podcast for almost 2 years now.
2 years.
Kind of took a break there for a little bit.
Right.
Doing like maybe once a month now, but we used to do weekly showings, and then wrestling got boring to watch 6 hours of wrestling every week. Got too boring for us for a little bit, so we just did the like predictions and recaps and things like that. So we do UFC the fight nights and the UFC the big pay-per-views. We do sometimes we live stream with each other, watch it together, some live reactions, things like that. Yeah, man, we have a lot of fun. Three of us, we all met through the same Facebook group that you and I met through. So, yeah, man, that community has helped me made a lot of wrestling friends.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, how did it even start out? You guys doing your own wrestling podcast? Wrestling UFC, like, it's just you guys just get together and talk about it all the time. You're like, you know what? Why don't we just press record?
That's basically it. We were doing fantasy football, and then I didn't really watch UFC all that much at that point, but the guys did. And yeah, we should just we met through a podcast group. We listened to the same podcast. So let's talk about it. Let's have our own input. I was like, all right, let's do it. Let's see how long we could do this for. And yeah, we're going on 2 years strong, and hopefully go longer than that.
Yeah, dude. I mean, dude, that's awesome. It's so cool knowing that there's other people, like us who just want to get together and just shoot the shit about wrestling. Like, I'm going to play the soundbite, but
you fucking mark.
We're fucking marks, man. Yeah. Like, every day people, I think about that term, marks, and it's like, I am a fucking mark. Why? I have my own fucking show. Like, that makes me a fucking, we have wrestling merch now, for a podcast like that. We're marks, man, through and through.
That's awesome.
I know.
Yeah. I mean, hence our name, Smarks, because
I love it.
That's what we are. We're just fucking marks.
Yeah, I mean, like, I would like to get the rest of the guys from your show over here. We got to have like a collab, you know. You guys got good chemistry, so you guys definitely are fans of the product, you know. But it's so much to take in, you know, like wrestling all week, like between like basically every day of the week. There's something of wrestling on, and to cover all that week to week, that, you know, some listeners just don't understand how difficult that is.
It's brutal,
dude. Yeah, like we might be able to cover like Raw and SmackDown, but like to cover like NXT, AEW, TNA, and everything else in between, and then people, you know, they want news on it, so it's like, why? I just can't do it. I gotta have a life, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%. For us, it's like I don't have a life, so I can legit just sit there and watch wrestling. The only problem is that I can't do AEW, man. I just can't do it. NXT, as soon as NXT 2.0 started, I kind of just jumped the ship there. I didn't really want to keep going with it. As soon as, you know, Undisputed Era left, I was like, I'm done with NXT. And TNA. I watch it every now and then. I don't keep up with it weekly, but maybe once or twice a month for pay-per-views, I definitely watch those. But yeah, AEW, I think AEW sucked the life out of watching all the other promotions for me.
Yeah, it can be draining like that. Like,
it's very draining.
I was like a big fan of NXT until Triple H left the Black and Gold. Yeah, you're right. Then we got the 2.0. Then I kind of fell off of NXT for a while. TNA, I'm always keeping my ear to the ground because we're doing more and more business with TNA, at WWE as a whole. So it's like, okay, now I'm keeping my ear to the ground a little bit more for this company. But AEW, like when it started out, I recall myself. Yeah, it was good. I had 2 TVs on. I'd have NXT on in the living room and AEW on in the dining room, and I would be watching both shows. I guess at the time I wanted the nostalgia feeling of the Monday Night Wars, and I was not getting it. You know, not what I expected. They kind of don't find each other as much as a threat with the numbers game and views and whatever. But hey, they're still around.
I definitely enjoyed AEW when it first started because everything you just said, it felt like WCW, and I was always a WCW guy over a WWE guy during the Midnight Wars. Yeah. So it felt nostalgic to me. I mean, me and my kid went to Full Gear 2021 in Minneapolis. At that time I was living in Phoenix, Arizona, so I flew across the country to go see, you know, Hangman Page beat Kenny Omega for the title. And it was amazing. It was great. Right. And then Cody left and Tony Khan started booking, and it was just, what are you doing? That's where I was just like, I have to get out of this because it's just painful to watch.
Well,
the matches are great, but the storytelling is just god awful.
Absolutely, because now we've seen what to me felt like the Thanos snap. You know, after that 5 years in AEW, those guys who signed those 5-year contracts were finally released, and you know we're seeing like guys like Rusev come back, guys like Aleister Black come back. You know, that snap is over.
Showing up in NXT and Ricky Saints, that was amazing. I love that.
And you know, as a whole, like you think about it as like an employee, it's like the last time these guys were here, Vince was in charge, and now you know you come back and it's like, oh well, you know now Triple H is in charge, so different boss. So you know, like maybe that's why a lot of these guys came back. I think that's great. It's always kind of fun seeing wrestlers go from one show to the next. It's kind of exciting. It's always sad when you find out like the wrestler leaves and then they kind of don't come back in the wrestling business at all. They just leave wrestling altogether, and that's rough as a fan because there's so many outlets to wrestle for. I mean, God, Zack Ryder still not back in the company. He's still just killing it in the indie scene. Yeah. Or Matt Cardona, I should say.
I cannot stand Matt Cardona. Oh my Lord. Don't get me started on Matt Cardona.
Well, thank God he has a wonderful woman. So
I am, but I don't. I just don't like the character of Zack Ryder, Matt Cardona. As a person, I'm glad he's doing great. He seems happy doing the indie scene. I mean, he's married to a beautiful woman. Good for the guy, but it just as the character, as the wrestler, I hear his name and I just cringe, man.
Hear his name and he will cringe. I
get teased a lot by him, by the rest of the guys. They got me a cameo for my birthday from Matt Cardona.
No
and
shit.
The thing that made me mad the most is that he pronounced my name right, and I was livid, man.
Oh man,
that's good. Good job, guys. Good job in getting it.
Cameo. I forgot about Cameo. You know what? Like, I think it was a couple. Like maybe like a month or so ago, I was on Cameo just looking at like what wrestlers were there. It's like, man, we pay them, save some ad, space for PCW. But yeah, it's crazy the world we live in. Like now you can do cameos, from like just like sitting in your own living room,
Yeah. I mean, I get a cameo for Nate, one of my co-hosts, because he's a big Nick Gage fan. So every year I get him a Nick Gage cameo. So he's happy with that. But man, some people just charge $10 to do some kind of whatever, and that's $10 in your pocket that you didn't have. So good for them.
I know. So I want to dig in here about you as a wrestling fan. Was there like a match that you saw? Was there a certain wrestler that made you fall in love with professional wrestling? Like, what was it that got you into it? Did a family member watch it that you got hooked on it? Like, yeah. Let's go from the beginning.
So my dad was a big AAA fan. Because I'm Mexican, right? And my dad was born in Mexico, and that's what he grew up with, is AAA. Well, he didn't grow up with AAA because AAA was around like 92, I think is when it started, 91. But he was into the whole, Mexican wrestling, luchador wrestling. So he introduced me to my first wrestling experience on TV, and it was, as a matter of fact, Octagon. Not Octagon Jr., but the original, the OG Octagon. And ever since that, just watching him wrestle and in AAA was just like, man, it captivated me. And then we'd go to Mexico when I was a kid. I'd go to Mexico and buy his action figures, things like that. And then we went to a WWF at the time live event, and I got to see Bret the Hitman Hart wrestle, and that got me hooked into WWE or WWF. So that being said, I'd have him rent me movies from the video store, watch the old WrestleManias, the Hulk Hogan's, the Macho Man. So I was just like, man, I need more of this. So me and my brother would always watch that. We'd save our allowance money and rent the video games, rent the movies on Friday nights, and we just, after we watch a match, we'd go in the living room and put blankets on the floor, and that was our ring, and we'd wrestle the hell out of each other after mimicking Jerry Lawler versus Bret the Hitman Hart, or Bob Backlund versus Bret Hart, because we were both Bret Hart fans at that time. So yeah, man, that's where it stemmed from, just watching AAA, which is ironic since they got taken over by WWE.
Yeah, I was gonna say that. And it's always nice having a sibling that watches wrestling with you. Especially when it's like, a brother. So it's like, you have somebody to either be your tag team partner or somebody you can beat the crap out of. Like, I recall me and my brother always hurting each other, doing some backyard wrestling crap. One of the listeners of the show, Ron, me and him used to always wrestle as kids and like hurt each other all the time. Don't try this at home. It's like, cool. Okay. I'll try this at somebody else's house then. So
I won't do it at my house.
Yeah, remember that, guys? Don't try this at home, but try it at somebody else's house who has maybe a trampoline, a pool with a diving board, I don't know, a canopy bed, like.
My first experience with backyard wrestling was, believe it or not, was with the Young Bucks.
Okay.
My cousin, because I'm from Southern Cal, so. So I went to my cousin's house one day, and then they have this whole backyard thing set up. And at that time, I didn't know who they were, but until later in life, I realized that it was the Young Bucks. I was watching the Young Bucks wrestle before they were even the Young Bucks, because they were just hanging out with my cousin. My cousin's one of their best friends.
So it's like really young Bucks.
That's the Kid Bucks at that point, and that got me into the more like that started my Markism, I guess you could say. Started seeing like how it worked. When they were practicing their moves, things like that. So, I can't stand them, the Young Bucks nowadays either. But jerks.
yeah.
There's a lot of things that I hate. I get teased on a lot because I like to look at everything with an open mind, but then I realize I end up hating everything anyways.
Because you find out the truth.
Yeah, man. But
hey, but man, it's nice to get to voice your opinion, though. Especially in the wrestling community.
I mean, yeah, we all hate something. Like, there's no wrestling Mark that doesn't hate anything from wrestling. That's what makes wrestling so beautiful as a whole, because you can have your opinions, you can have your discussions. Sometimes they get heated. Sometimes they're very friendly. They sway you a certain direction. So it's a great community.
Anytime we bring up any kind of female wrestlers, it's right away. I get shit for who I like, why the style that they wrestle, how shitty they are. Don't worry, man. Dre just like dumps it on me. Like if it's Charlotte or Nikki Bella that I like, I mean, Dre will find a way to shit on my parade. But rightfully so, where it's deserved. But I'll call out the bad spots and stuff of some of the female wrestlers I like. But yeah, dude, regardless, I still like to stand my ground on my opinion on certain wrestlers, and I don't change my opinion because it's the Yeet flavor of the month, or everybody's on the Cody Rhodes wagon. Like sometimes you just believe in what you believe in, man. Like you like the wrestler, why? Because they have a great gimmick, they're great in the ring, or they're just a good person overall, like a good worker. I respect people who work hard in the business that that they may not be getting all the W's, but they're there putting over talent.
Well, because a lot of times as fans we forget that aside from being entertainment, from their world, it's a job, and every person has a job role. And some people, their job role is to put other people over. It's just a job. It's to take that one specific bump in catering. And as fans, sometimes we forget that that's the nature of the business as well. Is that you need your jobbers, you need your catering people, you need your main eventers, and we're just spoiled. We want everything the way we wanted, and we will buy it.
It's crazy to think too that I heard the other day that on just general like salaries, if you're on NXT, it's roughly $250K a year. And think about guys like Akira Tozawa. That man is still on the roster after so many people get cut. Right? This guy gets some TV time. Right? Now he's hanging out with two hot blondes. But just think that that guy's not winning titles. He's not winning Money in the Bank, not main eventing or WrestleMania, but that man is getting a consistent fucking paycheck, and as much shit as any of us will give him, he's making probably more than both of you and me combined.
Well, 100%.
Yeah, you know what I mean? That's the lifestyle.
Yeah, the reason is because he has a role. He has a job duty there, and that's what people don't understand. I enjoy it, Tozawa. No matter how long his segment is, he's there to work, and you can tell he works hard, even though he only has 10 seconds, 15 seconds of spotlight time. But he's still out there performing. He's still out there taking bumps, stuff that most people aren't doing.
Yeah,
so kudos to the guy.
So right now in the company, who is your newest favorite wrestler? Upcoming young meat, I should say.
I mean, I've been a fan of Ricky Starks for a while. I am a Ricky Starks guy, and obviously Ricky Saint's kind of guy now, but when he got buried in AEW, that kind of stung a little bit. It made me hate the company even more.
Mm-hmm.
But at the end of the day, it's one of those things where they know what they're doing on their end. But yeah, Ricky, I do enjoy Ricky Starks. Man, I'm a huge Stephanie Vaquer fan. Like I said,
dude, awesome.
I watched a lot of Mexican wrestling.
Yeah,
because I actually live in Mexico, so it's on all the time over here. So,
awesome.
Yeah, Mexican wrestling's where it's at right now. It's growing. It's getting popular. So Stephanie Vaquer, Persephone is a good female wrestler. La Catalina, she's pretty good. She's a pretty good female wrestler.
Yep.
Psycho Clowns, your Mr. Iguana, which is a new favorite.
Yeah, it's quickly rising.
Yeah,
I've seen very little.
He is just amazing.
Yeah.
He can move. He can take the big. He could do the big spots. He's acrobatic. Like he has everything. He's basically a better version of Santino Marella, like an actual better wrestler, because he's a fun gimmick, but he can actually do things in the ring, which is great. So yeah, like all those guys, a lot of those guys, I'm huge fans of. Yeah,
like I like the ones you're naming. For me, like I know some of these people have some history in AEW, but for somebody who doesn't watch AEW religiously at all, so some of these guys coming over from AEW is new to me, and they're being built up properly. One of them for me is Penta. This guy dude, since he's been to WWE, he's just, he doesn't have a title yet, but he's been pushed up into that scene, mixing it up with some main eventers. And, hell, he was great at Money in the Bank. I got my eyes in the sky. Future, main eventer, Jacob Fatu. Another one that just all gas, no brakes, man. Like, this guy is going to be a main eventer.
And Jacob comes with baggage. Like he's not coming with a good history behind him. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And for him to turn his life around and be loved by millions of people, it's amazing.
Yeah.
My thing about Penta is so my mom watches wrestling. We call her Mama Mark because she genuinely believes it's real. So she gets super into it.
All right, so I will play this for her then.
Fucking Mark.
Continue.
Oh yeah, I tell her all the time. Penta right before Penta came to WWE, I live in a small border town here in Mexico called San Luis in Sonora, and Penta came here last May, and we were talking about this because, seeing him in a crowd of 100 people in this auditorium where me and my mom saw it second row, and then my son and I going to WrestleMania in Las Vegas and seeing him wrestle in front of 60,000 people, it goes to show you how much hard work these wrestlers put into and how much they sacrifice. That we just kind of take it for granted. Sometimes we just don't care where they come from. We just want to see them on the TV. But you have to remember, these guys work their butt off. That famous quote, you wrestled for a handshake and a hot dog. Sometimes they did that. And now they're making, thousands of dollars. And like you said, he's not main eventing, but he's one of the fastest rising stars in WWE ever.
Mm-hmm. Is there a wrestler right now that anytime you see them on the screen, they make you smile, they make you laugh? Is there any wrestler that really sticks out for you like that? For me, we're probably on the same page. It's R-Truth for me. Our Truth has just been the comical piece for the longest time. I remember the Ruthless Aggression era. I think for another person for me was Santino. Just a comical relief. The guy would just sometimes the cheesy shit really is hard for me to laugh at. But there are times where like Santino or R-Truth would do something and it would make me break. Like
they have impeccable comedic timing.
Yes.
That's what it is.
Because
I'm the same way. Like some of the cheesy stuff I don't care for, but R-Truth just knows when to deliver. Santino, when he would mispronounce the names of people.
John Cena.
When I saw a TikTok when he showed all the names he mispronounced, I was laughing like a dork for a good 5 minutes straight, just listening and watching that video on repeat because it was so.
Oh my god! Fun. Yeah.
Shamus and John Cena.
Shamus.
Golden Dust. Golden Dust, dude. Yeah, it's amazing.
I would say even Goldust at some point, like he just with the funny skits.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, even now, like I don't know who we're gonna have for that position because they kind of got rid of the goofball role at the moment. Like Carlito's not there. R-Truth is now Ron Killings. He is a totally different wrestler now.
Yeah,
I mean,
180 character change.
Yeah.
I mean, the only thing that I can see that's comedic, and we talked about him just a little while ago, is Tozawa and Otis. Those are our new comedy guys now.
Yeah, I mean, hey, if that's your position in the company, whatever, man, that's a big role because you're not a main event guy, but you're supplying laughs to people. I would say a good female version of that would be Chelsea Green.
Oh, Chelsea Green's amazing. Her gimmick when she won the U.S. title as the president with the Secret Service, it was great. I did not like that they took the belt off of her because I thought she was doing such a great job, but
Yeah, I agree. But sometimes the chase is more fun. I was happy to see that Selena Vega finally got a title. She's had a tag title. That's about it. I was like, okay, well, she's not going to be a main eventer. Like, give her something else. Like, awesome, United States title. But that's the start. Like, we're getting that too with the Intercontinental title. Now, I kind of figured at some point Bayley and Becky Lynch were going to add that to their repertoire. Like, why not? You're a Grand Slam champion. Keep being a Grand Slam champion. Like, so I got to win these minor titles.
The only thing that I don't like about what they're doing with Becky and Bayley is, back in our day, because I turned 40 this year, so you watch wrestling and the U.S. title, the TV title, the Intercontinental title, those were for rising stars. Those are the guys who are, they're getting ready for the big push. We want to see if they can do it. They can hold a championship and do well by it. Now they're kind of going backwards, and they want to make these titles a little more prestige. But Becky doesn't need the title right now. Like, she needs to do her own thing. Like, her coming in off of what a hiatus she was doing, and winning the belt off of Lyra, and then the last time it happened, she did it off of Bianca at SummerSlam. And that's just like, come on, you don't really need that. Like, give me that man build up again. That was so much fun for Becky.
Yeah,
for fans. And just don't go backwards. Keep going. Keep having some feuds, some personal feuds. I feel like we don't have those personal feuds like we used to anymore by a lot of the wrestlers. I mean, we had CM Punk, Drew McIntyre, Damian Priest. Like, I want more personal. Some of those personal matches we used to get back in the day.
I get it, yeah. Because even now, I mean, makes me nauseous even thinking about it. But we put the world title back on Gunther, which I'm fine with. I love Gunther. Yeah. Great guy. I'm all for it. I'm on the Gunther train. I've been since NXT UK. I have not stopped. I've been behind this man the whole way. But now we got Goldberg. Did we really need to insert a world title in this picture at all? Could we have not just done this without them and keep on yeeting through the rest of the summer? But, I mean, that's another can of worms we can definitely open. But
I'll say this, like, I was at the Monday Night Raw in Phoenix when Gunther beat Jay, and when leaving the arena, it felt amazing watching Gunther and the crowd just going crazy that he won.
Yeah.
And then, going on Twitter or Instagram and just kind of seeing all the negative comments on it, it's like you got to remember sometimes that a lot of times they make some of these matches and some of these shows, they cater it to the live crowd and not the TV crowd, because it translates different. Same thing
absolutely.
like with Cody and Cena at WrestleMania. I was there at WrestleMania this year, and live it was amazing. It was such a great story that they were telling in the ring. When I watched it on TV, I understand where people are coming from. So I definitely enjoyed Gunther winning, but Goldberg just coming back for the title, that's just a contract clause. That's all it is, and we have to look at it that way. At least I look at it that way, so it doesn't piss me off.
Right now, do you have like a comfort wrestler, like a wrestler that like no matter what match they're gonna be in, what feud they're gonna be in, you know it's gonna be decent, you know it's gonna be good?
Oh man, Drew McIntyre.
Drew McIntyre, that's a safe one. Yeah. That's a good one.
That guy can do no wrong right now. It sucks that he's legitimately injured, and he needs a break anyways, because he's been constantly grinding for the last few years. But I mean, his promos with CM Punk were fucking phenomenal. That Hell in the Cell was amazing. His interactions with Damian Priest were great. The Seth stuff was amazing. Like he deserves the break, and I want him back on the title scene. Something big for him.
Yeah, that is definitely a good one. That's a safe one, because the man can cut promos. He will wreck you on Twitter. Like he's great in the ring.
Man, when he showed up in Chicago with that bakery where CM Punk gets his muffins and stuff, and showed up to the place to buy that, dude, that was just like on another level. Like, to play those mind games and like in real life, he brought back kayfabe for his interactions with CM Punk, which is I miss kayfabe.
Yeah, me too.
You'll need to unlock your iPhone first.
Oh, you need to unlock your iPhone first.
Yeah, I'm trying to ignore this phone call I'm getting. My bad.
Oh, okay. Is there a wrestler you really miss the most working in WWE that's no longer with the company?
Man, I've always been a Kurt Angle fan. When he left to TNA and became Peak Angle, because he doesn't want to be called the other. Respect that. That was a phenomenal run in TNA.
Yeah, and
I wish, and we got a glimpse of that towards the end of his career in WWE. Right. But I mean, the reason why he was able to do all that stuff was because after the interview, all the things that he did. But it was great to see Kurt Angle wrestle in his second prime, I guess, in TNA, which I wish we would have got that in WWE. Him coming back was pretty cool, but then he's an older guy. Age gets to you, and be happy with what you get.
Yeah, if they do end up buying, TNA, they'll absorb that video library, and then all that.
Give it to me.
It's like just inserting this huge chunk of history of like, holy crap, like Kurt Angle, like not just that, like Kurt Angle, AJ Styles, early AJ Styles, like Beer Money, yeah, dude.
Give me the X Division matches. Oh my lord.
Yeah, dude. Like some of these guys, like early TNA stuff is pretty damn sick. And it's crazy to think. I recall as like a teenager thinking that like TNA is gonna like close any day now. Like right, like TNA's gotta fold any minute now. Like depending who's in charge of it this week. And now they're doing better than ever. So that's awesome.
I think TNA's success was because they set the bar so low that they just met expectations every week according to whatever network they were on, and they just kept afloat. And it's good for them, man, because without TNA, we really would have gotten AJ Styles over and Bobby Roode over NXT and things like that. So they did pretty well.
I mean, I'd have to say, like, if there's anybody I miss right now, probably in WWE, I do miss Chris Jericho in WWE.
Man.
I miss Edge in WWE.
Of course.
Maybe now that Triple H is in charge, I feel like it could be different if Dean Ambrose, John Moxley ever comes back.
Man.
There's just like a lot of these guys.
I love that.
Yeah, like a lot of these guys who are over there, I feel like, another one is Sasha Banks. I feel like there's so much meat left on the bone for these people in their careers in WWE. It's like when their contracts end in AEW, I'm always like secretly like, oh, come on. Like if you're going to wrap up your career, like Jericho, if you're going to wrap up your career, like, can you do it in WWE? Like let them send, like if you're going to be sent off properly, man, like let WWE do it. Like, same thing with Edge. Like, I felt the same way about Edge. It's like, let WWE do this, send you off. Like, but.
Yeah, I mean, you go back to where you became, that person. The Chris Jericho, your Dean Ambrose, your Sasha Banks. Unfortunately, some of these guys that we're mentioning, their egos are too big. Like Sasha Banks, her ego's too big to come back.
Fuck, yeah.
Dean Ambrose, his ego's too big to come back, and it's more of like he wants his creative control. He wants to do his own wrestling, and it's not working in AEW, and it's definitely not going to work in WWE. So Triple H doesn't want that, unfortunately. Will it make money? Yes, it will, but it's more on Dean Ambrose's side or John Moxley's side at that point.
Yeah, I mean. It just sucks. It's just been so long since a handful of those wrestlers have been back in the company, and I just feel like so much has changed within the past like 2 years.
Of course, everyone's happy.
Yeah, everybody is happy.
That's what everyone says in the Twitter world, is that everyone's happy being backstage. So that I mean, and that's just like any other job, any job that you and I worked at. If you're not happy at your job, you're miserable in life. So
yeah, that's true. And you take that shit home.
Yeah,
some people.
Sir.
What's the one thing you miss the most in WWE, or maybe just in pro wrestling in general? Like
the one thing that I miss the most, I think I mentioned, is kayfabe. I wish that there was a way to kind of keep kayfabe alive. Some of these wrestlers, like I mentioned, Drew McIntyre's people. He is known to be a very nice and sweet guy, but in the Twitter world, in WWE, he's just like this giant asshole, and I love it. You know what I'm saying? Like it just works so perfectly, and I wish other wrestlers did that. But a lot of times, when we have so much information in the palm of our hands that some of these wrestlers are human. They want to react to some comments, or they want to react to some video they saw on social media. So it kind of kills kayfabe in that point, and I miss that.
Yeah, I mean, like, I guess the dawn of social media is what really killed it. Because I remember as a teenager, like, trying to get any kind of, like, dirt sheet news, it was, like, maybe, like, a handful of websites, and, like, that was it. And, I mean, yeah, there's, like, that's why we get so many unique stories now, because, like, the internet wasn't what it is today. To get those kind of in the moment stories, on the road stories, moments. It does suck. It does suck. Like you're seeing everything transparent now. Like it is rough now that kayfabe is kind of dead, because it's like, especially like the relationship ones. Like when Dirty Dom, obviously he has somebody in real life. Yeah, he has a wife. And she's totally cool with what he does at work.
Yeah,
lucky man. Like
it's like being married to an actress or an actor. You have some kissing scenes with the person of the opposite sex or whatever, and they just got to live with it. But another thing, when we were talking about this, one thing, because you guys mentioned this on the show last week, because when Asuka was announced, is I miss the mysterious just wrestlers coming back with no with no announcement, like no spoiling.
Yeah.
Oh man, dude. If like I loved Goldberg in WCW, and, and if they would just not announce him and he would just show up, I would still pop. Like if he just showed up without being announced on this past Monday, I would have popped because I just love surprises. It could be Santino Marella or someone. It could be Jeff Hardy, who I despise as well, and I would still pop because he's back. You know what I'm saying? Like I miss those surprises.
Yeah, that is true. Being spoiled like days before the event. Yeah. Now it's just for them to sell more tickets.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it does suck.
Which doesn't make sense because if you think about it, like wrestling fans are going to go to your shows no matter what, because even though you still have you can still go to a show and be surprised. I mean, we were all surprised with Gunther being Jay. Like, no one saw that. I mean, I kind of felt, that he was going to win it because they opened a bunch of seats when I was buying tickets, and I'm like, okay, something big's happening. So I told my kid, I was like, Roman's coming out or Gunther's winning the title because they just opened like 1,000 more seats in the arena because they had covered like a whole section off. And then they just opened a bunch of them more. And I was like, something big's happening. So you can still get surprised at some of the shows, but I still want that, Asuka coming back from injury surprise, or like in WrestleMania where Becky Lynch came back. That was pretty cool. Things like that. I wish we had.
I also I missed the days where we didn't have so much damn advertisement in the ring. Now we have Slim Jim chairs and Fireball ladders, Prime stations. I was disgruntled with it when it first started happening, but I guess I made my peace because there's no matter how much we piss and moan about it, it's not going away. So I've learned to make my peace with it and kind of just ignore the logos, and I've definitely found myself enjoying it better. Right. Is there any what would you say was your favorite live event that you went to?
Ooh, I definitely would have to say WrestleMania in Vegas.
Oh shit! You went to one in Vegas last year. Ooh, dude, that's awesome.
Yeah. This past a few months ago.
Wow. Oh, that's awesome.
Was it 3 months ago already?
Yeah, I mean, wrestling time flies.
Yeah, it does. Because I'm thinking was it 41? Was it 40? And I can't remember what it was. But yeah. WrestleMania 41 in Vegas. I wasn't planning on going.
Yeah.
Me and the boys were thinking about saving up some money, and then we saw the ticket prices were ridiculous, and we're just like, you know what? It doesn't make financial sense to go, especially Vegas being so expensive. And my son, who he's a avid wrestling fan. He doesn't follow it, but he'll watch it with me. And we were sitting down because he comes and visits me here in Mexico because he lives in Phoenix, Arizona. And I said, "What do you want to watch?" He goes, "Let's watch wrestling." So I showed him the Elimination Chamber the day after it happened, and he's like, "Dad," he goes. No, it was Monday Night Raw. The promo Cena delivered on Monday Night Raw after Elimination Chamber. And he told me, he goes, "Dad, we got to go to WrestleMania. We have to go see John Cena before his last WrestleMania." So I'm thinking God damn it. Oh man, I got to figure out how I'm going to get these tickets. And yeah, I ended up going and it was amazing because, again, I got to see wrestling with my kid because, my dad was the one who brought me to wrestling. I brought my kid into wrestling. Got to see Cena's potentially last WrestleMania or advertised last WrestleMania. Got to see Stone Cold come out and crash before he went up the ramp, which was amazing. Got to see Joe Henry. It was just a phenomenal moment.
Yeah, it's awesome. We went to WrestleMania 40 in Philly.
Yes.
Definitely bucket list greatest wrestling weekend of my life. I got to go with my best friends. I got to go with people from the podcast. I never thought that it would actually happen. Like, you always dream about it. As a kid, you're like, man, it'd be so cool to go like to a WrestleMania. And then when you actually purchase the tickets and you get there and you're standing in that arena and you're just like, holy shit, like, I am here. Like, we did it. Like, now, like, I'm in the books, the history books. Like, I'm part of the numbers here. Like, I can go back anytime and watch this and relive this moment. Because I did it. Like, yeah. Like, I went back and I was a motorcycle going by my house. Of course. Very loud. I was like, I went to go watch as soon as it was over because I experienced it vastly different, watching it. I was like, oh, yeah, well, I missed this match because I was in line for an hour and a half trying to get a $15 soda. Like,
yeah.
But I'll always remember, though.
Live events.
Yeah, and I've been to, like, a bunch of Raws, bunch of SmackDowns. I've been to an Extreme Rules pay-per-view, Royal Rumbles. I want to do now. I mean, now we're getting these 2-night SummerSlams. Now I'm like, I feel like I want to be a part of that now too.
Where in the East Coast are you guys located?
I'm in Pennsylvania. Doyle lives in Philly, and I'm about an hour from Philly, and I believe Dre's down in Virginia. So,
nice. Okay.
So yeah,
one of the things that we've been doing for our podcast is me and Nate, one of our co-hosts, we've been meeting up for Royal Rumbles. So we went to the first Royal Rumble we went to together was the San Antonio one where Cody won.
Okay.
And I had the brilliant idea, since it was in Texas, to dress up as cowboys and attend the Royal Rumble. That was a big mistake because we looked like idiots. I came to find out that nobody in San Antonio dresses up because that's more on the Dallas-Fort Worth side that dresses up like cowboys. So we were sticking out like sore thumbs.
Yeah,
So we were like, you know what? Let's just try to meet up for Royal Rumble every year. So these last two Royal Rumbles, we've been meeting up. Because he lives in Delaware, so I land in Philly when I go down there, and I got to see Philly and got to eat a cheesesteak out there, and then just go to Delaware and watch Royal Rumble with the boys. Amazing.
Look at that! Like, you'll be close to me and Doyle, man. Like,
yeah,
we can have a big wrestling party.
Oh yeah, now that I know this, man, like this is on. Like, when I go down there, because I do plan on again. I'll definitely want to meet up with you guys because this year for this Royal Rumble, they're actually coming down to Mexico to watch the Royal Rumble here at my house.
Whoa, that's awesome!
Yeah, international travel, boys.
Yeah, and that's what's great about wrestling, man. There's just fans all over the world. It's not just in the United States. Like we even for this podcast, I see we get downloads from other countries, which is kind of cool. We get a couple downloads when I go to Saudi, which I'm surprised. As much shit as I give them, I still get a couple downloads over there.
Hey man, if like the way I see it is, if you're willing to hear us for a few minutes, like give us a try for a few minutes, and if you like us, excellent. If you don't, thank you for listening. That's all. I try to keep optimistic on that end.
Oh, absolutely. Like I know. I know we would probably get more listeners if we weren't explicit, and but fuck it.
That's a scenario we find ourselves in because in our show we're very explicit.
Yeah, I mean,
it gets to the point where we're like, oh man, I shouldn't have said that.
Yeah, I mean, like our soundboard alone is just here. Here you go.
Oh, man.
But you're also a piece of shit. Go fuck yourself. Go fuck yourself.
Yeah. We have if my mother knew what my soundboard was being used for, she would kill me. Is this what you do with your free time? You just sit on the internet and you curse? Yep. Yeah, that's why I know for sure I never let I know some family members listen to my show, but I always said, don't let my mom or my grandmother ever listen, Yeah. That's pretty much it.
It's funny you say that because, we do our show on YouTube because we do a video recording.
I see that, yeah.
And YouTube translates to whatever language you want. So my mom actually got a glimpse of what we do in the show, and she's like, "I can't believe you say half the things you say there." And I said,
Yeah, right.
I'm just being myself. And she goes, "I know." She goes, "Don't do that. You're gonna get in trouble." Well, oh well.
Yeah, well, I'm on episode 87, and we're still going strong. Nobody has kicked us out yet. We haven't been canceled yet. I do know. I do have a very small, very, very tiny handful of small listeners. Some of my friends, their kids are like wrestling. They're like, "You have a podcast?"
Yeah.
I'm like, "Yeah, I do." They're like, "I want to listen." I'm like,
Yeah.
Fuck. Okay, well, go for it, man. Like, I don't push it we don't push the bar too far like some other wrestling podcasts that I know.
Yeah.
But
see,
go for it.
This is my take on this, because I have an 18-year-old now, and I always told my son, like, look, I curse a lot because I can tell you I can not curse in front of you. The problem is that the world doesn't care if I curse or not. So you're going to go out there and listen to people curse, and I don't want you shocked by that. So I'm going to curse. That way it doesn't affect you when you hear someone curse or say anything bad.
Nice. So it's good. That's a good way to
listen to it. Like, good for them, but
right.
I'm sure they hear the worst things at school.
Mm-hmm. That's so true.
So I do try to keep it. We try to tone it down whenever we're visiting other podcasts. But like, you come to our show, and it's there's no holds barred there. It's unsanctioned, as a wrestling term.
Raw and uncut.
It's raw.
So, have you met any like professional wrestlers? Like, is there like ones that you were that really stick out?
No, I'm not really big on meeting people, like famous people or wrestlers. So I don't really go out of my way to meet anybody.
Okay.
I've seen wrestlers like out and about, and I'll just stare at them and kind of like a wave or something like that. But Rhea Ripley was one. Penta was one out here in Phoenix, because there was a taco shop called Mascadores, and it was basically a tribute taco shop to Penta when he was Pentagon in AAA. So
that's cool.
He was there at that location, and it's one of the reasons why I've always been such a Penta fan, because I've seen him before he was even Penta, even before he was even Pentagon. Like, so it's one of those things where he's a wrestler that we hold dear, because he basically came from nothing, and we see him everywhere now, which is great. But yeah, I don't really go out of my way to see or get autographs and things like that, pictures with people.
I'm the same way. I don't know why. Even with like if it was an actor, I'm just not the same way I act.
Yeah.
But I do have some. But like, I think the one that I only stood in line for, but I was young though. Like, I stood in line for like Shawn Michaels at my arena.
Oh, nice.
Nice. So I have that, and Chelsea Green sent me something when she had her podcast. I wrote into her show. She sent me an autograph photo, and then I do have and I do have a Hooters menu signed by Edge, Batista, and the Coach.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, they were all at a Hooters one time. Me and buddy Ron, a listener of the show, I think we had to be like 15 or something. We were looking for wrestlers after the show, like, where do you think they would go? And I'm like, probably Hooters. So like, really? Like, yeah. There's nobody in there. It's like late as hell. We go in there, and then there they are, man, sitting like a couple tables away. And I was like, okay, don't put us too close. I don't want to sit too close to them, because I don't want to freak out. I don't want to see. Yeah. And like, I was in the bathroom. I got up, went to the bathroom, and this is like an older Hooters, so like the bathroom was like really small, like one stall to piss in, one to but like there's two stalls. I'm in there taking a whiz. Dave Batista comes in, right? And
no way.
This man, I'm 15 years old, right? So I'm scrawny little 15-year-old. This is Batista Evolution Batista, 300 pound
At his peak.
Jack. This was peak Batista.
Monster.
Yeah, the monster, dude. And he's in there, and I went and I went to go wash. I was washing my hands. He went and used the urinal, and I used the last of the paper towels. And then I was like, oh no! I did that thing where you put your hand up in the thing. He's like, oh, that's it.
Yeah.
And then he goes over. He goes washes his hands. He shakes his hands. He's like, there's no goddamn paper towels. I was like, oh, God, I'm so sorry.
I'm going to die today.
I was like, yeah, you can use my shirt. I was so quick to be like, I had a wrestling shirt on, too. I swear to God, I had a wrestling shirt. This had to be 2004 because I think I had like a Royal Rumble t-shirt on. Because, 2004 when Benoit won the Rumble because we went to Philly to see it. But yeah, like I remember having a shirt. Like he knew exactly who the hell I was. Like I was a fan. He knew, and I was just like, "Take my shirt," And then he just did the whole hand wiping him on his pants and walked out. And then I had the audacity to ask for an autograph after that.
Oh my God, that's hilarious. That's awesome, though.
Yeah.
I love hearing stories like that. I could never go up to anyone famous and ask for the autograph. I'm too shy in that regard.
Yeah, I mean, like, you don't know, like, what kind of people they are. Like, what kind... You know what? You're right there, man. Like, everybody's a human. You don't know what kind of day they've been having.
Exactly.
They could be going through some personal shit. Or, they could just be having one of those days where there's like, sure, I'll sign all 30 of your things at the airport, so you can immediately put them on eBay.
That bothers me so much, but...
I am not that guy. Like, I will ask you maybe to autograph one thing... Just because that or just a picture. Right now, it's pictures. It's not. I don't need any autographs. Like if I can get a picture with you, that's it. But yeah, some of these people, I see it, dude. They go to the airport, they hit up Rey Mysterio, and Jeff Hardy, it's like 30 things. Sign all of this crap for me. It's like, dude, are you serious right now?
Yeah, some people are they're just no self-awareness, and I hate it.
No, dude, and you know what? It's not even like I feel like they're not hardcore fans. I just feel like they're just trying to make a buck.
Sure,
but like I don't know. I was never like that. Like when I have my autographs, I never once ever thought about selling them because it was the moment, how I got them. Like it's unique. So to somebody else, that's probably not worth anything, but to me, that's worth a lot more than money.
Yeah. Yeah, there is one. I can't remember who, but there is one wrestler who only does autographs for charity.
Oh, okay.
I want to say I can't remember if it's CM Punk or Rey Mysterio after that incident he had.
I could see that.
One of the it's a pretty big wrestler that it's like he just won't do signatures for anybody anymore unless it's charity.
Right.
That makes sense.
Yeah. Dude, absolutely.
People need to get a license.
So, in your closet, how many wrestling shirts do you have, and who do you have the most of? 0!
I have 0 wrestling shirts.
What the fuck? That's crazy.
Oh no! I take it back. I have one wrestling shirt, and it's a Bret Hart shirt that I bought in Delaware that came with the Bret Hart glasses. And I just bought that this past year.
So, like, what do you wear then when you go to a wrestling event? Like, what do normal people wear? It's just regular clothes.
I just wear a regular T-shirt. Usually like something funny or I don't know. Sometimes I get off of work and I'm in slacks and a long sleeve shirt like a dork.
So, like, I was gonna say, what's the reason? Like, you're not a wrestling shirt guy?
I lost a lot of weight and I have to buy new shirts and I didn't buy them because they were, I was a big guy and they were too expensive for big guys. And then I lost weight. I'm like, I feel like I missed the train on buying wrestling shirts now. So I just never did.
What's the thing about wrestling shirts?
I buy shirts for my friends. Like one of the guys loved the Grand Americano shirt and I was like, hey, I'll buy you the shirt. So what's your address? I'll send you the shirt and there you go. I mean, I bought wrestling shirts, just not.
Yeah, I mean, like, I had ridiculous amount. But I haven't bought a lot of new ones. Now, when I was younger, I acquired a lot, and it's funny because like as much shit as I gave him during his like Super Cena run, I have a lot of John Cena shirts. I don't know how the hell that happened.
Yeah.
It's just like, oh my God, like why do I have like 10, looks like a bowl of Fruity Pebbles in my damn closet. I think like the oldest shirt that I have is probably a DX. That's probably the oldest shirt I have is a DX shirt. The newest shirt that I have is probably a Roman Reigns shirt.
The OTC, like the Tribal Chief shirt, or like
it's a Acknowledge Me shirt.
Okay,
so
yeah,
it's a good one. Like the thing is, like when I go, they either don't have my damn size, or they're ridiculously priced.
Yes.
When we were in Philly for WrestleMania, I just wanted like a Philly 316 shirt, and they were like $45, and I was like, "What the fuck?" I was like, "I'm better off designing the shirt myself and putting it on our store on Pro Wrestling Tees and just buying it off of myself. Like, I'm better off that.
Yeah,
it's ridiculous. It's Philly. It's not even. It's like because I know WWE makes a shitload of money, or not shitload of money off of it, but like. Stone Cold Steve Austin makes still a shitload of money off of merch by going to every town and putting Philly 316, Chicago 316. Like, that man is still in the top 10 of merchandise sales, and that man's been retired for quite some time.
Yep.
But it's genius.
The only shirt that I ever wanted to buy was the Black John Cena shirt at WrestleMania, and they were sold out.
Yeah.
And that's like legit. That's like legit the only one that I've been like, okay, and buy it right now, and they didn't.
Yeah.
Like I said, I buy my kid's shirt. I mean, my kid wanted the Penta shirt. We got him the Penta shirt. All the old AJ Styles merch, like I used to get it for my kid. I've bought merchandise, just not.
Yep. Yeah. It's funny because like sometimes the shirts almost have that feeling of like a jersey of like
Yep.
Like
100%.
Yeah, of you're representing your favorite wrestler, and like it could be from a gimmick that they had like 10 years ago, or like like I would wear like old Randy Orton shirts. I have tons of them. I have tons of old RKO Legend Killer shirts. Like sometimes I like wearing the throwback shirts. But yeah, like I get it.
You hit it right in the head. That's what it is. It's like a jersey, so you rep it.
Yeah, dude, exactly. Because like my wrestling shirts are like precious to me. Like I have them. I've had some of them since I was a teenager. That a very small handful still fit me, but like I don't want to get rid of them because like my girlfriend will probably end up wearing them or something. But like it's she's like, "Can I wear this old wrestling shirt?" I'm like, "Yes, but be very careful." It's just like it's too small. You should
wear it. You know what? Don't wear it anymore.
Yeah, like maybe you shouldn't be eating pasta and sauce when you're wearing a classic, Isla Tola Rock and Rolla Chris Jericho Chick Magnet shirt. Like that's a good shirt.
Now you're just following her everywhere around. Make sure she does not ruin.
Yeah, and I know some of my wrestling shirts have like they have some holes in them, and then there are some stains. Yeah. And like I remember how I got them because I got them at like this wrestling event because that's when I would wear them. Really, it's like I used to wear them all the time, but then like I started like oh, I got these things are gonna break down and fall apart. Like I gotta start like wearing them only at wrestling events. So I don't like
your Sunday Sunday church clothes.
Yeah,
wrestling gear.
I definitely want to get my hands on some CM Punk shirts. I want even though it's old, I want like a Hell Froze Over shirt. I still think that was a great shirt. I've been just a CM Punk fan through and through. So I'm like, it's time for me to finally get a CM Punk shirt. And I think it's also time for me to get like a Seth Rollins shirt. Like I don't have a Seth Rollins shirt. So, yeah. And is there any like wrestling memorabilia that you collect at all? Like, are you like an action figure guy? DVDs still?
No, the only thing that I have in my room it's only because I bought them for my son, but that I brought them over because I wanted to hang them on my podcast. Is I bought like my son the $20 replica titles.
Oh, okay, cool.
Like those cheap plastic ones, and I have those hanging on my wall. Like I have the old heavyweight, the WWE Championship, the old the white Intercontinental Championship, and the U.S. title, like hanging on the wall.
When I was a teenager, I used to have those toy belts because we used to do backyard wrestling. And I think back then, the belts were better back then. The toys, the Jax belts.
100%.
Yeah, the quality was better. They were the leather, well, not leather, but the pleather, whatever. It wasn't flimsy like it is today. Like it was so much better. And I literally
the Velcro didn't fall. Yeah,
the Velcro was good. Like it was crazy. Is I had probably close to 20 to 25 belts. I had because we had all the tag team ones. This is Ruthless Aggression era, so we're talking like tag team titles for Raw and SmackDown. Intercontinental United States ECW title, Cruiserweight division, and then we also got the older ones. We had like the light heavyweight, the old Raw, the old WWE tag titles, like you name it, dude. Hardcore, the old world title, the spinning belt, the spinning United States title. So like whenever we'd have backyard wrestling, it's like we always had these titles that people could have and take home and then bring them back if when you lose. But it was always fun.
So you single-handedly kept WWE afloat with all that stuff you bought.
Yeah, definitely.
Kudos.
And I remember when I sold them all, because I sold them to a guy who's like, my kid's gonna love this, because I was like, it's time I get a real one.
Pass it on to the next generation.
Exactly. So I was like, man, these are in good condition. I'm like, this kid's gonna freaking love this. He's like, I had like a huge duffel bag of them all. Like it was crazy getting rid of them all. But I was like, I know who they were going to, and I was like, man, the kid's gonna enjoy it. Dude. Like
I do want to buy an NWO World Heavyweight belt, like an actual one.
Oh yeah.
Sometimes I get too cheap to cough up the money, but I will eventually. That's a goal of mine.
They have now. It's like when I was at WrestleMania at the convention center, they had like the display cases with all the belts, and it's insane now what belts you can get, customized belts. You can get one for the podcast, even like with your logo on it. Like, I had a fantasy wrestling league for a while before I closed it down. We have an actual title. We used to have a fantasy league for wrestling, and then we would just, if you would lose, you gave up that title. But like we lived close enough that we could hand it off to each other. But like I do miss that. So like now that title's retired, it's like hanging in my office.
Nice.
But I would like the old style World Heavyweight title, the old big gold title. I always liked that one.
Ric Flair's title.
Yeah, I like that one, and I was also keen to the when they merged the WWF and World title into the undisputed title that Triple H, Hulk Hogan, Taker had. The one that John Cena eventually turned into the spinning title. I also kind of like that design too. But I know for a fact, once I buy one, I'm going to want another one, and another one, and
it's addicting.
It is addicting, dude. Like, it is. There is wrestling memorabilia that people collect that is addicting. I know Doyle and Dre like getting autographs and pictures, and we had a guy on here before who liked collecting action figures, like a lot of action figures. Nice. I think that's awesome. Like that we have so much merch that you can collect, even weird fucking merch. Like you can go on Shop Zone and dig deep on like a late night Friday night, just dig deep into Shop Zone, and you're gonna be checking out with Mick Foley sandals and like a Slurpee cup with that had like a Stone Cold Steve Austin head and like a Kane mask. Like it's crazy the crap you can leave Shop Zone with.
Buying a souvenir cup from like Topeka, Kansas Raw in '97 or something like that.
Yeah, exactly.
It's crazy how you can find anything now.
Yeah. So are you guys planning on recording anything anytime soon? Like, do you guys have any upcoming episodes you wanna like let the listeners here know about?
Well, we're currently working on getting another platform to do our show on, because we were using one and it got super expensive to use it, and we tried using one of the free ones and it didn't work. So we're working on trying to find a new one, but we definitely want to go back to going onto our weekly shows, because like I said, we do the recaps, we do UFC predictions, we talk about football, we talk about baseball, we talk about current events. I mean, our last episode that we did a draft for gorillas. How many there was that viral thing where 100 people versus a gorilla, so we drafted our top 10 best people to go against the gorilla. And then we also did
nice.
So yeah, we try to do anything wrestling. So if they have ideas, they shoot us a DM or a text and, hey, talk about this. If we find it that we can make jokes out of it and find some humor and we can stretch it out for a while, we'll talk. We talked about one day how we'll good fit. Like, just anything that pops into our head, we just. Mostly our show is anything that we just want to talk about, we talk about it.
Yeah, I mean, I thought about the the bracket of maybe like we'll pick 10 of your best wrestlers you're coming to the table with to go against a gorilla. I always thought that would be a funny bracket to do.
Oh yeah, and then you can actually get ChatGPT to analyze and do a probability.
Oh my god!
To show you who will win. So
that's crazy. You can do that now.
It's amazing. I love it.
Like what wrestlers in their prime? And it's like, I thought about it too. Of like, well, okay, what wrestlers in their prime would I pick to be on my team to fight against this gorilla? Like, I mean, we can get pretty deep, but yeah, dude. Like, I think it'd be great to have you back on. Cool. I know we're doing. God, what is our Night of Champions? Is our next PLE. And then I think we have a Saturday night main event, but we might not cover that. We'll see. So yeah, I'd like to get you on maybe like the Night of Champions show. I know your time zone is a little different than ours. That might be the only, who knows, maybe the only thing that might tie us up here. I know that's always an issue with people when they live far away. It's the time zones.
I'm usually pretty free. Like,
yeah.
I'm the type of person where if you tell me like, hey, let's meet up for XYZ time, I will make myself available.
Yeah. And I definitely
I just like doing that.
Definitely want to collab with you guys over at the Sofa Kings. So
you can let loose a little bit over there.
Yeah. Totally. I would love to go over there. I would love to come to your show. Totally, and dig in with some wrestling over there with you guys. Pick your brains. Yeah. But okay. Is there anything else you want to plug before you leave?
Not really. I mean, I have my social medias. You can follow me.
Yeah.
Juvencio, WHOBENCIO on Instagram, and that dude Ben85 on TikToks. That's all I got. I don't really.
Yeah.
Now you're part of media, but I know the guys do.
Yeah, and now you're part of the PCW Discord. So if you ever want to, if they ever want to reach out to you, you're now part of the Discord. We talk about wrestling 24/7. I just need to know how to use it. My old ass doesn't. I don't understand what all these hashtags are right now that I'm looking at. Games. I don't know. I guess it's games there. Yeah, it's just categories. You want to talk about 2K games. You want to talk about Monday Night Raw in one. When we have the pay-per-view, we also have a section where people can talk about the pay-per-view without spoiling for people. Pretty simple. That's why I love Discord. It was a lot better idea than having... do you know what it's like to have tons of people just blow up your phone texting you like, oh my God, are you watching wrestling? Oh, yeah. Do you see what's going on? Yep. I'm like, yes, I do. I have a show. I have to watch it. I am watching it. And if I'm not, I'll get to it. So I eventually was like, you know what, guys? I think we should make a Discord where y'all can talk amongst each other and I'll blow up my phone.
Yes.
So I love it though. I love it. We're very active.
Sense.
Yeah, the guys on there are great. So it's nice that we got another peep added to the list there for sure. Yeah, and dude, I want to absolutely have you back on the show. I appreciate you being here, man.
I appreciate the invite. It was fun. Like I said, I can talk wrestling anytime, any day, all day if we need to.
All right.
I mean, I literally travel across the nation to talk wrestling. So that's how committed I am to talk about wrestling.
All right, man. Well, then we're gonna probably see you on PCW a lot more.
For sure.
All right, man.
Thanks for having me, buddy.
Yeah, man. Let's dip out. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome back to this little promo. I have to give one. You know what it's going to be about. Yeah, just sit here and listen. You made it this far into the show. What we're going to talk about is something very important. It's social media. Why aren't you part of the Twitter page, the Instagram page, our Facebook page? Join, share, and you know what? You get in there, we'll send you a link to the Discord. What's the Discord? It's where you can talk to us all day about wrestling. Not just that, how about you go to our website, podcastchampionshipwrestling1podium.com, where you can leave a review. Not just a review, you can write into the show. You got a question, we'll answer it. But it doesn't stop there. Oh no, it doesn't. We offer so much more. Do you want to be on the show? Do you want to shoot the shit with Dre, Doyle, and myself? Be a guest. I'll give you your own theme music. Yes, I will. But it doesn't stop there, guys. You gotta go to ProWrestlingTees.com and buy a PCW shirt. Oh, we don't have one. We don't have two. By God, we don't have three. But we do have four. 4 new t-shirts on ProWrestlingTees.com. So what the hell are you doing? You made it this far. Are you a fan or what? Are you a fucking mark? Tell him. You fucking mark! Time's running out.
You are the world's dumbest son of a bitch.
The fact that day in and day out, for almost 6 years, I have proved to everybody in the world that I am the best on this microphone, in that ring, even at commentary. Nobody can touch me.
You are not ready for Oscar!
Because the Street Profits are up and we want the smoke. You're next! Talk about your Psalms, talk about John 3:16. Austin 3:16 says I just whipped your ass. Well, let me tell you something, brother. New day!
Cream will rise to the top. Oh yeah, my true madness here.
Welcome to the Kevin Owens Show.
Lately, he just hasn't been very oozy.
Because I'm the Miz, and I'm awesome. Those rotten bastards.
Bye-bye, bitch.